Hey there, TikTakers! We want to ask you a question. Do the opinions of others affect you? Think about it while we share with you a curious phenomenon known as the Pygmalion Effect. Have you heard of it? In a nutshell, the Pygmalion Effect is when person A's opinion about person B can influence person B's behavior. Here's a practical example. John is a teacher in a classroom with 25 students, and from all of them, he believes the most intelligent and capable student is Peter. Although he tries to not show that opinion consciously, he frequently encourages Peter with motivational comments or studying advice. And thus, Peter becomes aware of his potential and ends up getting better results than if he didn't. In this example, we can find two important factors. On one hand, that human beings always try to fulfill their own expectations. That's why the teacher ends up helping the student he believes has an advantage without realizing it. And on the other hand, we have the self-esteem factor. Peter realizes his worth thanks to the teacher's words, and thus his own self-love increases. And when he obtains that self-confidence, his results improve. The Pygmalion Effect was demonstrated in a study by Robert Rosenthal, a Harvard professor, and Lenore Jacobson, principal of an elementary school in San Francisco. Thanks to an experiment carried out in a class, they demonstrated that the higher the expectations, the better the results. But do you know where the name of this effect comes from? It's inspired by the Greek myth of Pygmalion, a sculptor who fell in love with a statue he sculpted himself. He thought none of the women he ever met were good enough for him, and thus he built himself the perfect woman. And his feelings for his creation were so intense that he begged the gods to turn her into a real-life woman. Finally, the goddess Aphrodite fulfilled his wish, and the man ended up marrying his creation. As we've mentioned so far, the Pygmalion Effect can be positive, but it can also be negative. On one hand, if instead of focusing on the good of a person, we focus on the bad, we can affect their self-esteem and drive them to failure. On the other hand, if we don't know how to channel nor transmit appropriately those expectations, then the other person might end up wanting to become precisely the opposite. An example is when a mother once wanted to become a doctor and gets obsessed with her son becoming one so she can repair her own frustration. This also proves that we can all help each other become successful in whatever we set out to do, TikTakers. So let's do that by sharing a few words of encouragement with others every now and then. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, and if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!